Hey, sexy people. Today, I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but this absolutely needs to be talked about. Today, we're talking about a hard truth. The vegan diet kills babies. Yes, you heard me right. There are actual real life examples of babies and young children who have died because they were fed a strict vegan diet. For example, Sheila O'Leary was sentenced to life imprisonment for charges including first-degree murder when her son Ezra died of malnourishment after being fed a vegan diet. He was just 18 months old and weighed only 17 pounds. And her other children, daughters aged 3 and 5, were severely ill. In another case, Hasmik and Garabet Manuelan pleaded guilty to child cruelty and gross negligence after the death of their 9-month-old baby from bronchopneumonia. This was brought on by malnutrition, weighing just 11 pounds. And the judge in that case said, your real punishment is that you will have to spend the rest of your lives in the knowledge that your stubbornness created Ireni's death. For loving parents like you, that is a crushing burden to bear. And it's heartbreaking to think that parents who are trying to do their best for their children ended up causing the death. And these are not the only cases. Belgium has now introduced laws where parents face 2 years in jail if they feed their children vegan diets without close medical supervision, including regular blood tests. Italy proposed a similar law in 2016, and their law was proposed after a number of cases where malnourished children were hospitalized after being fed a vegan diet. And the Savino law will sentence parents to up to 6 years in prison for giving their child what they say is devoid of essential elements for healthy and balanced growth. And malnutrition from lack of essential nutrients in vegan diets can lead to permanent damage to a growing child's body and brain. Now, before you start screaming in the comments, just hang tight, because I am going to break this down for you with facts, not opinions. And by the end of this, you'll understand why some countries are making it illegal for parents to feed their babies a vegan diet. And hey, if you know someone who needs to hear this, do them a favor and share this information. It could literally save a life. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the real world evidence, because you can't argue with the facts. Now, maybe you're thinking, oh, well, that's just 1 in a million. Nope. This is happening enough that countries like Belgium that we discussed and like Italy are proposing laws or have brought in laws to stop parents from feeding their children and babies a vegan diet. Why? Because babies and children simply cannot thrive on a vegan diet. Babies and children need all of the nutrients for human health, and some of those are only animal foods. Even if a child doesn't die from a vegan diet, they can still suffer long-term damage, stunted growth, developmental delays, cognitive impairment, and the list goes on. It's not just me being dramatic, it's simple biology. So now you're wondering, okay, Steph, so if this is so bad for babies, what does it mean for adults? Good question. Is the vegan diet actually healthy for anyone? I'd love to know in the comments, what has your experience of the vegan diet been? Have you tried it? Would you try it? I'd love to hear your response to this. Here's the truth. The vegan diet might seem healthy on the surface. Heck, a lot of people believe it's the way to go because they've been told it's clean or it's ethical. And I found the argument pretty compelling and actually was a vegan for a while myself. But when you actually dig into the science, you start seeing the cracks in that argument. To be healthy, you need to meet your body's nutritional needs. Simple as that. That means getting enough protein, enough fats, enough vitamins and minerals. Notice there are no essential carbohydrates. We'll come back to that. If you're missing any of those key nutrients, if you're missing proteins or fats or vitamins or minerals, you're setting yourself up for problems down the road. And I'm here to tell you right now that there are nutrients you cannot get from plants alone. Now for my sexy people watching, don't forget to poke that like button for added sexiness. Let's get into the details. One of the biggest things missing from a vegan diet is protein. And I don't just mean any kind of protein. I'm talking about the right kind of protein. I'm talking about animal protein, the protein that we are made of and that we use in our bodies. So what is protein? Protein is one of the building blocks of life. Your muscles, your organs, your immune system, they all need protein to function properly. Your brain. But here's the kicker. Plant proteins and animal proteins, despite what they've been telling us, they are not the same. Plant proteins are incomplete. They're missing essential amino acids that your body can't make. For example, lysine, an amino acid that's crucial for tissue repair and growth, is almost non-existent in most plant foods. And even if you do get some protein from plants, your body can't use it as efficiently as animal proteins. Why? Because plant proteins come with a bunch of baggage, anti-nutrients like phytates, lectins, which block the absorption of key nutrients. And even if you can absorb them, our ability to convert plant protein is actually quite poor. So even though beans and lentils might look like a good source of protein on paper, your body's actually getting far less from them than you think. And I know what you're thinking. But Steph, I've been told I can get all my protein from plant-based sources. I was told that too. I believed it. But I hate to break it to you, it's not true. It's a myth. And that's why it really gets my goat when health institutions promote a vegan diet as the healthiest. There are a few areas of consensus between everyone, including vegans, and it is accepted that the following nutrients are missing from plant foods: B12, vitamin A, the retinol version that we need, creatine, carnitine, carnosine, heme iron, EPA, and taurine. So what happens when you don't get these critical nutrients? Let's look at the effects of missing out on key proteins and other essential nutrients like the B12, the heme iron, the omega-3 fatty acids, stuff you either can't get at all or you can't absorb properly from plants. Here are just a few of the consequences: fatigue and weakness, cognitive issues, things like brain fog, difficulty concentrating, weak immune system, making you more susceptible to illnesses, poor muscle tone, slower recovery after exercise. And that's just the short list. You might feel okay for a while on a vegan diet, but over time, these deficiencies creep in, and before you know it, you're dealing with some serious health problems. These are things your body needs to function. And when you don't get them, you're going to start feeling it. So some of the effects of these deficiencies are subtle at first. Maybe you'll feel a little more tired or you'll have some brain fog. But over time, it gets worse. Your immune system weakens. Maybe you start to get autoimmune symptoms, your skin, your digestion. Your muscles won't recover as fast. Your energy levels tank. And here's the thing, supplements can't fully make up from what's missing from real food. We're designed to get our nutrients from whole animal sources. And today we're not even talking about what you replace those animal proteins with, because typically people are replacing meat and animal foods with carbs, pulses, beans, etc. And that causes even more problems because those carbs are digested as sugar. But we'll come to that on another video. Let's continue talking about the supplements, because I know some of you are just thinking, well, I'll just take a B12 pill or a protein powder and I'll be fine, right? Here's the deal. Supplements can help a little, but they're not the magic fix you're hoping for. For one thing, they're never as bioavailable as the real thing. You're not going to absorb B12 from a pill the same way you could from a steak or from an egg. Plus, when you're relying on supplements, you're missing the synergy that comes from eating the real whole animal foods. Your body was designed to get these nutrients in their natural form, not from pills and powders. So here's the bottom line. Plants ain't it. Plants ain't shit. A plant-only diet might sound like a good idea if you're doing it for ethical or environmental reasons. And hey, I get it. But don't fool yourself into thinking it's healthier. You're missing crucial nutrients that your body needs to function at its best. The healthiest diet for most humans is one that includes animal foods. That's how you get the full range of nutrients that your body craves. Now, if you've made it this far, I know you've been picking up what I've been laying down. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and ring that bell so that you don't miss out on future videos. This is Happy Sexy Health, where we're about vibrant health at every age. I'll see you in the next one, sexy people.